If a group of people went half a decade creating a three-dimensional render of the entire Earth, and you could instantly go anywhere you wanted, where would you go first? Apparently, for most people, the answer is their house. It might seem redundant to have the entire world at your fingertips and you choose to go to the very place you're sitting in, but it makes sense. Your house is usually meaningful to you. It might be where you grew up, it might be where you first gained independence, it might be where you had your first love. There's an infinite amount of potential reasons for a house to be your favourite place on Earth. Put simply, your house is most likely your home, and I believe your home is the location with the most meaning to you, and even where at your most vulnerable you feel safe and at peace. What if we take this hypothetical one step further? If you could leave Earth past the separator between man's hubris and the unflinching carelessness of the cosmic abyss, where would you look first? Like the very first men and women to leave our planet, you'd look home. You'd look at the place where all of your memories were made, all of your achievements, all of your efforts, where all of your decisions mattered. Your parents, your partner, your pets, your favourite meals, your favourite place, your favourite tree. They're all down there, just incomprehensibly small from your perspective. You could be looking at billions of people, and you couldn't see a single one. You watch the line that turns day into night traverse itself across the globe. The previously infinite skyline is now a brittle, multicoloured line, barely separate from the surface. What you're looking at is all you've ever known. It contains everybody you could know, everything you've seen, everything you've created, everything that is. It is what you thought was infinite, now perceivable. Petty human squabbles reveal themselves to be just that, petty. Country and city borders, only partially visible, exist just because we willed them to. You see all that humanity has accomplished floating, right in front of your unworthy eyes. You feel feelings you've never felt before. A sense of interconnectedness, a sense of belonging, a sense of urgency. This is the overview effect. Microsoft Flight Simulator is truly a marvel. You can fly around in a 1-to-1 scale 3D model of the Earth we live on, using a combination of satellite imagery, AI, and some touch-ups by Asobo Studio. To have this game exist in the first place, we needed to figure out lighter than air flight, we needed to send objects off of our planet, and we needed to create an object with its own intelligence to turn flat imagery into believably realistic three-dimensional shapes. It is, by all accounts, a testament to human ingenuity. The designers clearly placed realism at a maximum priority. Some planes' windows are scratched and dirty. The city lights in the distance create a show of pollution. The stars are astronomically correct in their placements. A believable picture is made up of believable details. But that's the limit we reach right now. Something simply believable. It's not real. It's not actually Earth. Sure, it's mind-blowing to the point it's hard to comprehend that you can visit literally anywhere on our planet in this game. But at the end of the day, it is a mere attempt at an immaterial recreation of Earth. The cars you see driving around the roads are models moving along a set path on a 3D plane. The planes in the sky, even if they are representations of the actual aircraft above us right now, are unmanned. Nobody walks the streets of London. This is the case with every game, from Pac-Man to No Man's Sky. Everything you see are models, materials, and effects. They aren't tangible in our world, and on top of which, they are volatile. In computing terms, something that is volatile ceases to exist when the device that stores it is turned off. RAM is volatile memory. Anything that is stored in the RAM when the computer turns off is lost. This includes Word documents, the tabs you have open, and any programs running. In games, I propose there are two levels of volatility. I would call the first visual and the second actual. Visual volatility is where the data stops being rendered on screen, but the data that makes up the object is still being used. Think of an enemy going into the fog of war, or a character moving behind you, or being so far away that the game doesn't have enough pixels on the screen to render it. The objects for all intents and purposes still exist, but we can't see them. Actual volatility is where the objects are terminated completely, and the data is lost. Think of a car popping out of existence in open world games, a ragdoll despawning, or a grenade exploding. These objects no longer exist, and since the data is gone, there's no way of getting them back. You can avoid some aspects of actual volatility by saving the game. It probably won't save every piece of data, but enough to return you close enough to the experience you were having if you load it. Ultimately, there needs to be some level of volatility in games. If part of a level is currently neither visible nor interactable, there is usually no point in rendering it, especially since normally the player is the only character that can meaningfully interact with it. Our computers simply can't handle rendering everything at once. But what if they could? What if, when you looked down from your plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you knew there were cars going along each and every road in each and every country? The world would be alive without your presence. What if it weren't just cars and planes, but NPCs too? What if they could interact with the world? Why stop there? What if we could give them personalities, essentially create digital life? Not free will per se, but a real artificial intelligence. Problem solving, social collaboration, forming relationships. We're playing God at this point. What if we didn't just stop with Earth? What if we could render a solar system, a galaxy, a universe? Calculating every single cause and effect across light years of space, across billions of planets, right down to the thoughts of every individual being. Is that reality? Is that a whole new reality? And what if we could put you inside that reality? You look down upon the digital Earth from space. Everything is happening. Every thought, every movement, every interaction, they are occurring right in front of you. Nothing is volatile. What if you could experience the overview effect from your own home? What if you could experience the interconnectedness with humanity, previously reserved for only those who left the Earth's atmosphere? What if everyone could? We could give everyone a new, life-altering perspective, one that strengthens families, communities, countries, a perspective of unity, of long-term global planning. Think of what could be accomplished with that. What if there's not enough time to make these hypotheticals a reality? What if the reason that there's not enough time is because of us? What if the great filter preventing us from reaching the next stage of civilization is not an external existential threat, but a psychological one? What if obtaining the thing that could have saved us required the very ideal that it promised to give? Why didn't we work together?